Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user TraditionalHour483. Am I the a-hole for going behind my wife's back and telling her pregnant sister that she's being cheated on? I have been married to my wife for 3 years. I am 27 and she's 26. My sister-in-law is 30 and my piece of crap brother-in-law is 31. I always had a close relationship with my sister-in-law. We are friends. Also have a decent connection between my brother-in-law. Not that close, but we often talk and get along. My wife and her sister didn't get along as much as you would expect from siblings. It wasn't just normal siblings rivalry, but constant fights and arguments. Anyway, 3 weeks ago when I was having dinner with my friends, I saw my brother-in-law with another woman. They were just eating, I didn't think much of it. I wanted to go greet him, but I kept talking to my friends. After a while, I saw that he gave a light kiss to the woman. I was so shocked, I decided to not confront him, and when I got back to my home, I told my wife everything. I told her that her sister is getting cheated on and we need to tell her. My wife said we should talk to my brother-in-law instead of telling her sister, and we should not break their marriage because her sister is pregnant. I was like, what the F? So what if she's pregnant? Her husband is a cheat. I tried to convince my wife multiple times that we should tell her sister the truth. I told her that I know you guys don't get along, but she's still your sister and this isn't right. But she asked me to stay out of it. I tried my best to convince my wife, but she either ignored me or said we shouldn't break their marriage. I had enough of her, and yesterday I told her that I am coming clean to my sister-in-law. I told my wife that her sister and I have a great bond and I can't and won't betray her. My wife said if I tell her the truth, she will not talk to me. I replied, I won't talk to you either if you don't want to do what's right. Today, I told my sister-in-law the truth. I went to her place and told her everything. She was doubtful and she asked me to leave. After a few hours, my sister-in-law called me and she was crying and said what I said was the truth and she shouldn't have doubted me and kicked me out. She told me she's leaving. I asked her, where would you go? Do you have any money? She said she does, but not that much. I wired her a bit and said she should call me if she needs help, and she thanked me and said she will only use the money I sent if it's necessary, otherwise she will return it to me. My brother-in-law called my wife and well, my wife lashed on to me and said I ruined her family and her sister's life. I said I thought the moment we got married your family is mine and my family is yours. Anyway, why the F are you defending that piece of crap so much? What about your sister? She didn't reply to me and she's not talking to me either. I tried to talk to her and convince her that it was the right thing to do, but she wouldn't talk to me. So I said fine, stay angry, and if you want to divorce me, go ahead. I think I have nuked my marriage. I do not know if what I did was truly right. Well, OP, personally, I do think you were right to tell your sister-in-law what was going on. I don't understand why your wife would be so stubborn about telling her sister and defending her piece of crap brother-in-law unless she's got some skeletons in the closet. Now, this is just pure speculation, but based on how she reacted to all of this, I would think she's cheating on you with her brother-in-law or she's just cheated on you. But no, OP, you are not the a-hole. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Otherwise Degree 729 says, not the a-hole. Your wife is either currently cheating or she has cheated on you. Worse, she might have cheated on you with your brother-in-law. If she doesn't get along with her sister and there was always sibling rivalry, I wouldn't put it past her. Even if she hasn't cheated, her morals suck. She is a crappy sister and partner. She should have told her sister she shouldn't lash out on you for being honest. That alone says a lot about her even if she hasn't cheated. Away Understanding 34 says, not the a-hole. And I am looking sideways at your wife if she's okay with someone cheating. Seriously, I question this. You did the right thing. He could be opening sister-in-law and the baby up to diseases that could be harmful to both of them. She deserved to know and make an informed decision. Let's be clear. You didn't ruin her family and her sister's life. The brother-in-law did that when he cheated. If your wife can't see this, take another look at who she really is. Adobe Acrobat Reader says, not the a-hole. If I were you, I would sleep with one eye open. Your wife has no moral standards. And OP responds, I truly have been thinking about this, that she might just be... But I love and trust my wife, and I was thinking she wanted me to not tell her because my sister-in-law is pregnant, and women knows how stressful pregnancy and after pregnancy is, and she might have thought that she needs support from her husband? I don't know, nothing here makes sense to me. There was nothing for me to suspect of her cheating on me. And Unusually Sunny 76 says, sounds like your wife supports cheaters and that should be worrying to you, not the a-hole. And OP responds, I thought about it and I am concerned about it, but I somewhat think she just asked me to not tell her because my sister-in-law is pregnant and it will cause her more stress. That's just what I think, but the truth is, if I hide it and support my wife, I am in the wrong. If I tell her the truth after she gives birth, then still I am wrong. If I hide it forever, then I am still wrong. Like, what am I supposed to do? Cover up for the betrayer and not help my family? Even my wife is angry at me and probably will lose her if I already haven't lost her. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that there's something sketchy going on with the wife. And even though OP doesn't outright say it, he also feels that none of this makes sense and that something's going on. So now, let's move on to the update to see how the story ends. It's been a few days since I told my wife's sister that her husband is a cheat. Just to clarify to all the weirdos, no, I am not in love with my sister-in-law. I don't have any inappropriate relationship or feelings for her. I respect her and she's family. And yes, I went behind my wife's back. I tried so hard not to, but she was covering up for a cheater and she wouldn't even spare her own sister. I love my wife, and I mean it, but that doesn't mean I will give up my own morals and self-worth just to please the woman I love. I consider my wife's family as my own. Why did she try to stop me though? Why am I the bad guy in her eyes? Is it just as easy to say, none of your business, and forget about everything? In any case, yesterday I asked my wife why she is pissed and wanted me to not reveal the truth to her sister. I know you guys hate each other, but you guys are siblings. My wife said it's not our place to interfere. I asked her, are you okay with her sister being cheated on? She said she isn't, but it will and has ruined their marriage because of my stupidity. She's pregnant and the child needs his father and so does the wife. I was so shocked when she said this, like what the F? I asked her, if I were to cheat on you, would you forgive me? She said yes. I also asked her if she ever cheats on me, would she hide it from me? She also said yes to that. I was so shocked. I asked her if she knows what she's saying. She said yes, and she's confident. Just because you had sex with someone else doesn't mean everyone else has to suffer and break the family. Wow. I had no words to say. I told her that I also sent my sister-in-law money. She started screaming at me and said I shouldn't have helped her despite knowing she doesn't like her sister. I said if that's what she thinks, then it's better if we just divorce. She got angry and screamed, fine, and started packing her bag. I tried my best to stop her from leaving. I told her that I love her and I just did what I felt right. Nobody has to suffer betrayal like this. She said it wasn't the right time. I asked her, so when should we tell her the truth? After she gives birth? Because it will worsen her PPD, or years after she gives birth? Because she will just blame us. She said we should have just kept quiet and left it alone. I tried so hard to stop her, but she didn't listen to me and left. I tried to contact her and her parents, her friends, but they don't know where she is, and instead started interrogating me and saying I am her husband and I should have taken care of her and I should know where she is. I even visited my brother-in-law to confirm my suspicions, but I didn't see her car or her belongings anywhere. I hate that I am being blamed for just revealing the truth and my wife leaving me right away without a second thought. I was so damned pissed. So today I called my sister-in-law and told her that she can stay at my place because I am going to my parents and my wife left and nobody knows where she is. She told me she will try talking to her parents, but after a while she called me and said that their parents don't know where she is. I told her to think about herself and come over and stay here instead of blowing up her money. Now I am at my parents' and my sister-in-law is in our home. Maybe I was being petty, but I hate that my wife gave up on me and left without a second thought. I don't know whether she's cheating or cheated or she would truly cheat on me and her own blood sister with a family relative over feuds. One thing is for sure though, I cannot trust my wife anymore. She hurt me. I feel like she isn't even the woman I married. She's like a completely different person. In any case, I loved her and I still do and will do so for the foreseeable future, so I will just back out of any relationships and the dating scene. And even I don't trust my wife at this point. Well, Opie, just to make one small correction, I don't think you went behind her back because you told her what you saw, you told her what you were going to do. She was angry about that, but you did what you told her you were going to do. That's pretty straightforward to me. Also, I think in the meantime, you should also get a divorce attorney because your wife might come in guns blazing. So take care, Opie, and thanks for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user TrickyCut368. Am I the a-hole for controlling my girlfriend's freedom of speech? That's basically what I was accused of. My girlfriend Rachel, 30 female, and I, 30 male, have been together for 5 years with a strong relationship. However, yesterday I accidentally overheard Rachel and her best friend Emily discussing my best friend Nick's, 32 male, appearance. The conversation was predominantly Rachel describing Nick as ridiculously hot and charming. Emily asked Rachel why she chose me over Nick, and Rachel replied laughing, "As if Nick would have chosen me." I felt hurt, disrespected, and angry. At worst, it sounds like Rachel wants to sleep with Nick. At best, she's being disrespectful to our relationship and me. When I confronted her later in private, Rachel apologized but dismissed the conversation as girl talk I wasn't meant to hear. She claimed I'm overreacting and should focus on our relationship. We argued. I expressed my concerns and said it's okay to have a crush, but to have a crush on my best friend, who we hang out with on an almost daily basis, and then to let her friend undermine our relationship is wrong in so many levels. Rachel accused me of being overly dramatic, controlling her speech, lacking trust. This happened yesterday. We haven't fought since, but there is unresolved tension between us. Am I the a-hole? No, Opie, you're not the a-hole. You're rightfully offended and you called her out. I also wonder what your girlfriend's opinion is on quote-unquote locker room talk. Like, what if you and your buddies were talking about her friend and what she looks like? Opie, you are right. Her friend and your girlfriend disrespected you and the relationship, and now she's gaslighting you to make you feel like you're in the wrong. Are you sure you want to date this person? And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Inevitable Train 386 says, freedom of speech is freedom from legal prosecution and governmental retaliation, not freedom from public judgment or non-legal consequences for one's actions. Now use your freedom of speech to say F you, bye, to her, smiley face, not the a-hole. Lupi Mercutio says, not the a-hole. Well, you were clearly the second option and consolation prize, as it were. What you do with that information is up to you. I'd be rethinking the relationship, and if I'd stayed in it, I'd probably not hang out with Nick as much with the girlfriend there. Also, she knows she screwed up saying it where you could overhear it, and that's why she is pissed about you trying to control her speech or whatever. You aren't. She's just trying to gaslight you into feeling bad about saying something about it. And Launched Squid says, you didn't restrict her speech at all. She said exactly what she wanted to say, not the a-hole. The bigger question is, do you really want to be with someone who not only would prefer to be dating your friend, but openly says this to her friends? You're her safety pick. She's with you because you tick enough of her boyfriend boxes and are actually willing to date her. She'd have someone else, Nick, if she could, but those guys wouldn't have her, and she's 30 and wants some certainty. You're that guy, Mr. Certainty. If you stay after this, you're only proving it to her even more. You're so certain, you'll even stay after she's disrespectful about you to her friends. I wonder what else she can do and you'll still stay. I wonder what happens when someone like Nick shows a bit of interest in her. Say, when she's on a night out with her friends that know she's not really that into you. I'm sorry, bro, but you've seen behind the curtain and it wasn't pretty. As painful as it is an opportunity to prevent more pain. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and many of them would be questioning the relationship, and of course so would I. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I'm still trying to process everything that's happened since I last posted. I ended things with Rachel and it's been a tough few days. After I confronted her about what I overheard, she completely shut down. Every time I brought it up, she dismissed my concerns, telling me I was overreacting and being too sensitive. She made me feel like I was the one with the problem, not her. It was gaslighting and manipulation at its finest. She really made me feel like some misogynistic a-hole who's trying to control how she feels by her twisted logic, lol. I know I'm not really explaining it well, but she made me second guess myself about this entire thing a lot. Anyway, I talked to Nick about what happened. Even he was weirded out by Rachel's behavior, said she crossed a major boundary and admitted her actions gave him the ick. Hearing that from him made me realize I wasn't overreacting. Rachel's constant dismissal and refusal to acknowledge the hurt she caused finally made me realize I deserved better. I ended our 5-year relationship. Now, Rachel's telling our friends that I broke up with her over harmless girl talk. It's infuriating because it's not the truth. But what really got me was when Rachel texted Nick just a few days after we broke up, asking him to go for a movie. Nick told her to never contact him again and blocked her number. Nick is a great friend. He's one of the few people I trust. I don't know what's her deal. Maybe she's like a narcissist. The funny thing is that she assumed Nick would pick her over his longtime girlfriend who he's been in love with since high school and his best friend, also known as me. Also, my ex knows Nick's girlfriend. We've hung out together as a group. The fact that she made it seem like she was best friends with Nick's girlfriend while lusting after him the entire time is creepy and weird. I'm still hurting, but I know I made the right decision. Being single is better than being with someone who doesn't respect me. That's about it. Well, OP, good for you for making that right decision. You are absolutely right. Being single is a lot better than being with someone who doesn't respect you. And also, you dodged a huge bullet. So, here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Thanks for sharing and take care. And now, let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Flupshanubi. We need more detail in my annual performance self-appraisal? Sure thing, boss. At the end of every year, we have to do this ridiculous self-appraisal as part of our performance review. Normally, it's 3 or 4 questions based on your goals from the past year. Did you accomplish your goals? What roadblocks did you overcome? How did you become a better employee? Etc. This year, I got a new boss who, instead of the usual 5 goals, assigned me 25. Yes, a total of 25 highly specific goals for me to accomplish throughout the year. Since January, I've been knocking them down and moving to the next one, or working on long-range projects that include multiple goals. I did really well, all things considered, and even got a promotion. Nice! That brings us to the annual performance evaluation. I had a lot of goals, 25 of them if you recall. My plan was to write a short essay that broke down the year by quarter and outlined all the goals I met and a short description of how meeting that goal helped the team make progress. Clean, simple, and complete. Except my boss has this form. This form includes 6 sections with 4 to 7 questions per section, or a total of 33 separate questions per goal. So that's 825 questions. Each question requires at least 150 words to be considered complete. He handed me the evaluation packet last week and said I needed to turn it in by Thanksgiving. After getting a couple of questions into the thing, I realized it wasn't just asking for narrative, but data and analysis, sometimes multiple data points per question. I spent 2 entire days just completing one goal, which comprised 12 written pages, 2 spreadsheets, and 14 separate graphics. Doing the math, I realized it was going to take me 48 business days to complete the remainder. I asked my boss if this is really what he intended, and he said, "Just do it like I said." Sure thing. I cleared my calendar through to Thanksgiving. Not one meeting. Declined all project requests in Asana. Turned on Busy in Teams. Turned on auto replies in Outlook for a full month. When my boss's boss, our VP, came by and asked why I wasn't responding to any requests or responding to email, I explained the situation. What's funny is he said, "Yeah, he's a real stickler for detail. I guess he needs to learn how to deal with reality. Carry on." I'm up to about 130 odd written pages. This thing is going to be bigger than my dissertation, and he still hasn't come by to ask why I'm not coming to meetings anymore. Maybe this really is what he wants, a team lead doing useless paperwork for 6 weeks. Whatever, they're paying me. Wow, OP, your boss sounds like a huge a-hole and an idiot. But like you said, that's what he wants, that's what he's gonna get. Eventually, he's the boss and he's the leader, so it's gonna reflect on him. The good thing is the VP knows what's up. Thanks for sharing, OP, and take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.